Okay, everyone, thank you for waiting. We're going to start with an opening statement from the coach and then from Mr. Togashi. Just before we get into that, for the Korean media, we will translate some questions directly from the Korean media into Korean. Coach Patrick, if we could have an opening statement, please.
Sure. First of all, good evening, everybody. I would first like to say thank you to the EASL and the organization. We've had an unbelievable adventure this year in a positive way. Despite a tough schedule, our players, I think, really enjoyed this competition. Hats off to the players. They deserve the championship. We somehow went undefeated. Today was another dramatic, difficult game, and we were our best on defense, and Yuki took over at the end, and that's been the story of our season so far. But I couldn't be prouder and couldn't be happier, and I'm also very glad to do this in Cebu with so many friendly, positive fans and a great environment here. Loud, hot, and that's what basketball is all about. I think the fans saw a great game, and yeah, like I said, we're the champions in Asia, and we're very proud of it.
Thank you, Coach. Yuki, please.
本当にこの、EASL の大会、初めて大会だと思うんですけど、こうやってアジアのチームと対戦できる機会が、僕にとってすごくね、楽しい8試合でしたし、こうやってまず優勝できたこと、本当に嬉しく思います。
So it was actually our first time to join this EASL league and fighting 8 games upon Asian teams. It was really fun for us, and getting that last championship, we're really glad to get that last result.
Thank you. Questions, please.
Hello. This question is for Yuki. Chiba also won an EASL tournament back in 2017, and now 7 years later, you guys win again. What can you say about your team sustaining, getting that sustained excellence and winning championships in both your domestic league, in the big league, and in an international one like the EASL? Yeah, the difference between what can you say about your franchise being winner from 2017 all the way up to 2024.
はい、多分マカオでの試合だったと思うんですけど、それからまた7年、8年ぐらい経って、こうやってね、またホームアウェイというね、すごくさらに大きな大会としてアジアの、チーム同士で戦うのはすごくね、素晴らしいことだと思いますし、これがアジアの成長につながるのであればね、これからもっと、大きな大会になっていくのかなっていうのを感じたので、本当にこの8試合で全て、自分たちにとって素晴らしい経験になったかなと思います。
So I guess the last tournament was in Macau, and from that 7-8 years, able to play in this ESL league again against the wonderful teams in the Asia, and being able to get that 8 games and getting the win to end, I think that was a really good result, and it was a really good experience. But again, with this kind of ESL, having opponents from Asian teams, we hope that this will relate to development in basketball and also in Asia. So we'd like to, of course, in the near future, I think it'll be a bigger league. But again, I think we are glad to have this experience too.
Thank you. And just a second question for Coach. You mentioned last time that height is overrated. Can you expound upon that a little bit, especially since you're seeing up close that height doesn't necessarily matter with Yuki performing very well? You mentioned last time that height is overrated in the previous press conference.
Oh, height.
Yes. Can you expound upon that a little bit?
I mean, my teams have always played in, when I was in Japan before, when I've coached in Europe, we won a European championship and it was with everybody under 6'4". So I really believe in modern basketball. It has to do with skills and stamina, and speed kills more than height. And I think that Yuki has showed that this whole season. But no, right now it's hard to think about too much because I'm so happy and so proud of the guys. But for sure, we don't make any excuses because we're smaller than other teams.
Next question over there.
Hello. Good evening, Coach Patrick. Congratulations. You face different teams with different styles of play here in the EASL. How big is this for the campaign of the Chiba Jets for the remainder of the B-League season?
Well, it was a huge goal for our team. When we said we were going to play this, we said, okay, we're going to try to win this thing. We're going to try to win the whole thing. And it's a bold statement, but I think the players stuck to it. And even when we were really tired, you know, we play Saturday, Sunday every week. We played Wednesday this past week. But the players, and this starts with Yuki, ignored the tiredness. They ignored being maybe a little sore or injured or whatever, and they left it all on the floor. So that's really amazing from the coach's standpoint. I can say it now, to see how hard they pushed themselves, and they did it because it was a big goal for them.
Any questions from the Japanese media? If not for the moment, there's a question at the back.
Hello. This question is for Yuki. So Yuki, you have been a fan favorite here in Cebu for your awesome play despite being the smallest guy out there. As we know, us Asians have not always been blessed with great height. So I wanted to ask you, what can you say to Filipino basketball players and Asian players as a whole who aspire to play the way you do despite being shorter than most players?
この本当にね、この2試合通して、一つ一つのプレーにかなり、湧いてくれたね、フィリピンのファンの方々にね、すごく本当に感謝してますし、ここのセブまで来て、すごくホームのような雰囲気でプレーできたのは、はい、まあそれが一つのね、今回の勝因の一つでは本当にあるかなと思います。
First of all, we just want to thank being playing in front of these two games in front of the fans of Philippines. They really excited for each one of our plays, and of course it was like a home game for us. So we really glad to play in front of that crowd.
そして、まあ、フィリピンの、今 B リーグでたくさんのフィリピン人の、ね、選手がプレーしてますけど、まあ、こうやって、国を越えてね、プレーできるっていうのはすごく、これからのアジアのバスケットの成長につながると思うので、まあ、ぜひね、たくさんのフィリピン人が、フィリピンの人が、日本で活躍というかね、来てくれることをすごく願っています。
So as we know that there's a lot of Philippine players in the Speed League Japan, and we know that this will relate to the development of this basketball in Asia too. So we look forward for a lot of Philippine players coming to Japan and play and perform in front of us.
감독님께는 여쭤볼 게 있는데, 이제 한국 농구는 상당히 보셨겠지만 외국인 선수 2명이 있고 경기 중에 1명만 기용을 할 수 있습니다. 근데 이제 아무래도 외국인 선수의 비중에 대한 규정을 계속해서 고민하고 변화를 해보는 편인데, 일본 같은 경우에는 다양한 방식으로 기용을 하고 있고 오늘도 여러 선수들이 출전을 해줬는데, 좀 그런 면에서 어떤 면에서 좀 외국인 선수가 많을 때 장점이 있고, 또 일본 선수들에게 어떤 식으로 동기부여를 주고 또 어떤 방식으로 좀 기용의 틀을 가져가시는지 궁금하거든요.
The question was about the different number of the import players in the league between the KBL and the B League. KBL, the league is allowing only one import players on the court, and the B League has more than one. So for the question of for the second question is, what are the good benefits as a coach to have the import player in more than one import player in the league for your team, and what are the if there's any disadvantage, what are those?
Yeah, this is a big question, and also in Germany we had this situation before. We had only 2 foreigners on the court, and the German league did not improve. Now there are 6 Americans on the court, and also in Japan it used to be 1. Now we have 3 on a team, and I think it makes the domestic players have to perform at a higher level. You know, Yuki competes against Americans, no excuses, our best. I think the more competition and the more foreigners, if I had it my way, and my 2 sons are also professional players, they're German, but the more they can play against the best competition, the better they get. And I think that has helped the B League, and I think the B League is also going to add 1 more foreigner in the future, because it just makes the level of competition higher, and the Korean or Japanese or German, the local players who want it, they will fight for their spot, and they will get better too.
네, 답변으로는 이제 감독님 생각으로는 지금 원래 독일에 있었을 때도 지금 사실 용병 선수가 2명이었고 지금 일본에 또 이제 B리그도 사실은 1명으로 시작해서 점차적으로 지금 용병을 늘려가고 있는 계획을 가지고 있습니다. 개인적인 생각으로는 용병 선수가 더 많음으로써 오히려 국내 선수들이 더 많은 기회를 얻기 위해서 경쟁하려고 하는 그런 모든 과정들이 오히려 이제 국내 선수들의 발전을 도우지 않았나 그렇게 생각한다고 합니다.
Time for maybe a couple more questions.
Question from Video Land Taiwan for Yuki. You've received the MVP chanting in Japan, and now you're receiving the MVP chanting in Philippines. How does it feel to kind of bring your influence, expand your influence in such a country that have so much love for basketball?
どうですかね、なんか僕そんなにアジアの大会今までその代表も含めなんだろうな、そのすごい結果を残したこともないんですけど、それでもね今日も含め、いろんな国に行ってもこうやってね応援してくれる現地のファンっていうのがすごくいて、すごくねそれは幸せなことですし、今回しっかり、自分のねこの結果も含め、こうやってアジアのチャンピオンになることができて、さらにねこの MVP という本当にね賞をいただけたことは、僕自身もこれからの、キャリアにすごく自信になりますし、なんだろう、なんか僕が何かをしたというよりはもう初日からなぜか一つ一つのプレーにね湧いてくれたので、なんか僕というよりはもう本当にバスケットが、ね、シンプルに好きなファンが多いのかなという印象があります。
So actually playing in this Asian countries, including the national games, he didn't really have this kind of chance yet, but including with this EASL league, everywhere we go, there's a lot of supporters, there's a lot of cheers, and actually that was really fun to play in. But again, it's not like what he did, it's maybe the environment that everybody loves of sports of basketball, and one play each, everybody enjoyed it, and that was really great for us. And it's just really not only himself, but I think it's the whole atmosphere that created that environment.
예, 저 한국 언론입니다. 토가시 유키 선수에게 질문하겠습니다. 경기가 접전이었는데 한국팀 SK의 강점과 또 기억에 남는 한국 선수가 있었다면 누구였는지 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Now the next question is to Yuki. Now it was quite a tight game. If you can tell us what are the strengths about Seoul SK Knights, and who was the player that you got impressed the most?
ですね、3番の選手とずっと、もう追いかけっこみたいなのをしてたと思うんですけど、はい、もう本当にね、もう気持ちの入ったタフな選手で、試合中よく会話してましたけど、はい、本当にね、彼と、なんだろう、この40分間戦うことできて、もう僕自身もすごく成長できたなと思います。
So I guess I was matching up number 3, and I had to chase him around. It was a really tough 40 minutes game, and we were having some conversation on the court too. But I was really glad to able to match up with him, and he was able to glad to gain that experience.
네, 지금 SK 나이츠의 최원혁 선수가 가장 본인의 매치업이었고 지금 SK 나이츠 선수들 중에서 가장 인상 깊었다고 그렇게 말씀해 주셨습니다.
您好，我想问一下，福田勇树就是translator， 就是想问一下福田勇树刚刚在冠军仪的时候拿出了队友的9号球衣，能分享一下跟我们之間の故事吗？谢謝。
富樫選手の質問です。まずは優勝おめでとうございます。中国の、スポーツマニーのターンです。今回はその授賞式で、2番9番の二上選手の、ユニフォームを持ち出されました。それについてその物語とかその背景とか原因とか教えていただけませんか？
今シーズンちょっと大怪我をまたしてしまって、今ねリハビリを頑張ってると思うんですけど、彼のね本当にコートに立ちたくても立てないそういう選手がいるので、選手それぞれねこの40分間戦い抜くことできたと思いますし、本当に彼ね戻ってきた時にまたこの大会で彼の活躍が見えることを皆さん楽しみにしてほしいなと思います。
So the question was about on the ceremony, Togashi Yuki was holding a number 9 red jersey, and they wanted to ask why he was holding on that. Well, the reason is that actually that number 9 is a player of ours, and he got a big injury throughout the season, unfortunately. But he's working hard in his rehab right now, and we know that everybody wants to play in the court, but with these kind of injuries, it's really hard. But he's working hard in the rehab, so I hope you guys look forward for when we have another chance to play in the EASL, and we look forward for his play too.
Okay, time for one more question, I think. Do we have any Japanese journalists in the room?
They're outside. They're outside.
They're outside, okay. This gentleman was first.
유키 선수께 질문인데요. 한 시즌 동안 이 국제 클럽 대항전을 풀타임으로 뛰어보신 소감이랑, 그리고 또 앞으로 이 대회를 계속 참가하실 것 같은데 대회 발전을 위해서 좀 주최 측에 좀 바라는 점이 있다면 하나 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
The next question goes to Yuki. Now you spent the one whole season with ECHL Super League. I feel like there will be a more chance for you to join this league. If there's any suggestion you can make to the league officials to make this league better, or what are those?
More money.
いやスケジュール動向の問題をね日本ではやられてますけど、僕はねもうこの大会もやるならしょうがないと思うので、いやでも1回目にして僕はすごく特にこのファイナルはもう素晴らしい、雰囲気でプレーできたので、はい、もう、これからねいろんなチームがまたさらにねこの優勝を目指して頑張ると思うので、これからもっと大きな大会になることを願ってます。
So, I mean, in Japan, there are a lot of words about the schedule. It's really tough. But again, once we knew that we're going to join this league, we knew that we're going to have to fight through it, and we wanted to get that last championship. And we were able to play, especially with these 2 last games, we were able to play in a wonderful environment and good atmosphere, and it was really good to get that championship. But again, if we could suggest or we can hope that this league will be bigger and to be able to fight with a lot of teams and fight for that last championship, but we were looking forward for that too.
네, 이번 한 시즌 동안 여기 동아시아 슈퍼리그에서 뛰면서 되게 많은 좋은 경험을 했고 사실 일본에 있을 때 이런 일정 부분에 대해서 많은 좀 불편함이 언론과 그리고 팬들 그리고 팀들 사이에서도 좀 나왔었는데 사실 본인과 본인 팀은 이미 각오하고 있던 불편함이었고 시즌을 또 소화시키면서 마지막 특히나 여기 세부에 와서 마지막 그 두 경기에서는 좋은 환경과 좋은 경기를 할 수 있어서 엄청 행복했다고 합니다. 만약에 한 가지 더 그런 이런 발전 가능성에 대해서 얘기를 하자면 좀 더 많은 팀들이 참가를 해서 이런 마지막 그런 경쟁이 좀 더 멋있게 아름답게 할 수 있도록 더 많은 팀들이 참가했으면 좋겠다고 했습니다.
Okay, that's it, guys. That's all we got time for. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you to the guys for answering.
Thank you, guys.